Hey guys, welcome to TCR. I'm Sid, and today I'm going to take you through a little bit of what my workout looks like. And I'm not going to do the whole thing with you because that would take an hour, but I'm going to show you the moves that I do, and I'm going to tell you about how many sets and reps I do, and you can adjust it so that it fits your fitness level for you. So first off, before you start any new exercise routine, you should always talk to your doctor because that's what we're supposed to tell you to do. But I'm going to show you some of the things that I do here, and I use free weights. A lot of people like to use kettlebells. I do not like to use those. I think those rely a lot on working momentum and not focusing on actual muscle control. And when you're focusing on momentum versus muscle control, I feel like it's a lot easier to injure yourself and not to get as much out of it. So I prefer free weights to machines, to kettlebells rather. But if you're just starting out, I use a 5, a 10, and a 15-pound weight for the different things that I do. If you're just starting out, this is your first day exercising in like 10 years or whatever, a nice light can of beans, just to have you have something to have a little bit of resistance. We all know everybody's got some cans of stuff at home. You can completely do any of these exercises using different cans if that's what you have available, and that's the weight that you're able to lift at this point. So let's get started. One of the reasons I like to use free weights instead of machines or things like that is because I like to focus on my balance and my stabilizer muscles as well. So I like to start out every workout, I simply march in place. A lot of the moves that I do with the free weights, I will be marching in place the entire time. Now notice how I'm not like just flinging myself. I can think of controlling it the entire time. Every exercise we do, every move I do, you're controlling it the whole time. So you're thinking about that as you're doing it. So I like to start out marching in place, kind of get the blood flowing a little bit, right? And then I'll do a series of different things where I focus on second position where your feet are kind of turned out a little bit. You want to make sure that your pelvis is kind of tucked and straight, your hips are squared. And I do a lot of these. This is working on your inner thigh, your butt, your core, and also helping to work your balance. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced, you can pop up your heel and do what's called a forced arch, and do some on each side like that. That will also work your muscles. And it's also kind of stretching you as well as kind of just getting your blood flowing. So from here also, a lot of my core work is going to be standing up. I do a lot of core work on the floor, but a lot of it is also in between a lot of these reps. You're going to hold yourself and I just rotate slightly. Also, when I'm in this position, I can do, this is all just kind of warming you up. Just kind of crossing across your body, just kind of getting yourself warmed up. I'll also do some of these where I squat, bring it down and punch it up. Again, this is sort of like a stretch, a warm up, getting your blood flowing. So as I'm going through my warm up, here I do different sections for different lengths of time. So everybody's going to be a little bit different as far as how long you do it. Typically, this whole exercise that I'm showing you, everything I'm showing you, takes me about an hour to do. So for you, if you're just starting out and you're only doing a few reps of each thing, it might only take you, 20 minutes, and that's okay. You're just getting started. I like to also loosen up my hips as well as using my abs here, so I like to roll, and I do 40 of these. I do 20, 2 sets of 20 basically. So I'll roll it this way, and I'm just kind of rolling it through my knees, rolling it through my hips. I'm using my abs to control it as well as my glutes. And then I'll do 40 more, 2 sets of 20, going the other way. So that kind of gets that started. Again, your blood flowing, you're ready to go. So this one is another good one that I do for my glutes, and it also really helps with your balance and your core. So if you're standing sort of this way with your feet just a little bit spread. So you've got your feet here, you're gonna, almost like if your heels were touching, and you're gonna keep your hips squared. If it helps you to put your hands on your hips, that's fine. And I do, again, 2 sets of 20. And you wanna think of control, not flinging your leg. So I'm lifting it, and you'll feel that resistance in your glute, and then I'm lowering it back down. It's not how fast you can do them, it's if you're doing them correctly. If I'm just flinging my leg, I'm not getting the same workout as if I do it controlled and focus on my balance and my core. Then after I've gone through those exercises, I switch to my free weights. I start with my 5s, and I do a few different things with my 5s than I'll end up doing with my 10 and my 15. So my 5s I use 2 of, and again I'm marching in place with these the entire time. And I'll do some where I bring them up like this. Again, I'm thinking control, keeping my shoulders back, keeping my abs, my core tight. And I'll do a few sets of all of these reps mixed in. And then I'll go sideways, so I'm pulling them out almost like I was pulling a rubber band across my chest, keeping your shoulders squared. And then I'll do some where I come up and lower it slowly, all while marching in place. And again, I don't want to fling it like that. If I fling it, you're more likely to hurt yourself and you're not getting the same benefits from it. So you do want to keep it controlled and as squared as you can as you do it. And sometimes if you're starting out, it does help to do it in front of a mirror. Some curls as well while I'm marching in place. Same thing, keeping my shoulders squared, keeping control. And then I will drop them behind and lift them up. And then I'll start over again with that same rep, starting over and over and over again until I decide I've done enough. I also, in between that, when I feel I need a little bit of a break, I'll mix in some of this. So I'm punching it with holding the weights while I'm rotating my rib cage. And then sometimes I will add some of these in, do more squats with it while I'm holding the weights in this position. And I'll repeat all of those sets several times. So the next thing I do, I've got my 10-pound weights here. For this move, I'm also gonna be repeating this with my 15-pound weight. I do wanna keep my shoulders square, and I wanna use my obliques, my side ab muscles, if you will. That's what's pushing this move. So as I tilt down, I'm keeping my shoulders as square as I can. I'm using this side muscle to pull back up. And you'll feel it all through here. And it's little, it's not big. And I like to do 2 sets of 20, so on each side. Now I go back to marching in place again. I like to keep a grip on my weights kind of loose. I like to keep my fingers open and my thumb just curled around it. I keep one arm out, keep it controlled. And as I'm marching in place, I'm lifting this up. And I usually do 15 and then several different sets. Then I do the same thing on this side, arm out, keeping my shoulders squared, having control over the weight, engaging my core as I do it, all while marching in place to work on those stabilizer muscles. So the next one I'm gonna do again while marching in place, I'm gonna pull this up so it's level with my shoulder and place it back down. And again, I do 15 of all of these, and it's about control, it's not about momentum. So this one, again, this is really important that you control this one so that you're not hurting your shoulder as you do this. I have a bad back and bad shoulder, so I'm very conscious of that sort of thing. So So I'm going to be bringing this back to here and bringing it back up. And again, I do 15. If you're only starting out, do 5, do 10. Maybe don't do as many sets. I'm going to do these, pulling them up behind my head, keeping that core engaged. Again, all while marching in place. And again, you can do this with a can of beans. Same thing, I'm going to do these oblique tilts, but now I'm doing it with a higher weight, the 15. Same thing, I do another 2 sets of 20 on each side, so 40 on each side total. Again, keeping your shoulders square, all that good stuff. I like to use my coffee table for this. If you've got a bench or a table or something that works for this, or another chair that you can stick your leg up on to do these, perfect. So you do want to make sure that you're keeping your back as flat as you can, and that you've got a good grip here. If you've actually got a workout bench, that works too. And you're just going to be pulling this weight back up to your hip. Nice and controlled, again, while keeping your back as flat as you can, your core engaged. And it's not a race. You don't want to let it drop. You don't want to let your shoulder drop. You want to keep those shoulders squared, that back flat, and you're pulling up from here back to your hip. And you will feel this in your core. And I'll do about 50 on each side. Okay guys, so again, same thing I kind of did with my 10-pound weight rather, now I'm doing with my 15. Marching in place, I'm gonna go up over my head. Again, I do 15 counts, and I repeat those reps several times, several different sets. Again, then I'll switch this to the other side, same thing. Obviously, you're doing everything on both sides. However many you do on one, you wanna do on the other. Then I'll switch, pull up to my shoulder. Again, control, keep your core engaged. Keep your shoulders square, all while marching in place. So then I'll hold my weight here, and now there's a couple different variations of this I'll do. Sometimes I'll just kind of bounce in a squat with this weight. Sometimes I'll hold it further out. Sometimes I will pull it up with each one, but again, it's about control, not momentum. Don't fling it. Don't try to swing it up like you would if it was a kettlebell. That's how you injure yourself. So you want to keep it controlled and just what level you're at. All right, that's it for the weights. Now we get onto the floor. So the next thing we're going to do is, I call it the Suzanne Summers, because you're kind of doing a little bit of a pelvic thrust and you're squeezing your thighs. So you're going to keep your shoulders flat on the ground and your arms flat on the ground. You're going to elevate your pelvis. You're going to squeeze your glutes to get that up. And then you're going to squeeze your thighs together, bringing your knees together this way. And kind of dip it back down. And again, however many of these that you can do, it's about control. It's not about speed. If you notice, I'm doing them very slowly. I'm not trying to drop down to the ground and come back up as fast as possible. That's not the goal here. The goal is to keep it controlled the entire time, squeezing your glutes, squeezing your thighs, keeping it all tight. So from there, I like to do some basic crunches, and we're not going to be coming off the floor very high at all. The whole goal here is not to reach our arms past our face. So you want to keep your hands behind your head, your arms as flat or as straight, I should say, as they can. They are going to come up off the ground. But you do want to make sure that you're not pulling with your neck, that you're literally resting your neck in your hands, holding your head, keeping your shoulders as back as you can, and focusing on your core to be the thing that's pulling you up. So if I'm pulling up, I'm literally not even coming up that far. I'm keeping my shoulders back as far as I can and my arms as straight as I can. So I'm not coming up like this and hurting my neck. I'm literally thinking of a string pulling my chin. But I'm using my core to pull And I'll do some straight on, and I'll do some to the side. And I generally spend about 20 minutes altogether on these different floor core exercises. So now I've done all my first set of core stuff going straight and to the sides with my legs bent. Now I'm gonna go ahead and straighten them, and I'm gonna point them. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same sets that I just did, whatever that was for you, however many you did, up and down, or alternating. Hi Skylar, this is what they like to do in the morning, is they like to drive me crazy. Again, you're using your core. You're not pulling up from your neck as much as possible. You're strictly using your core. If you're feeling like you're getting a little bit more advanced, sometimes I will bring up my legs and do the little bicycle version ones. Again, you are going to be tilting your elbows up a little bit more with those, but you're not bringing it all the way and pulling. You're just kneading it up. Then I go flat. Now my legs are straight, and I'm going to be flipping them back and forth, almost like I'm a really angry duck in a pond. And I'll do somewhere between, I usually do it for about a minute, which breaks down to somewhere between 40 and 50 of these. But you're using your core. Again, this is really working your lower abs. And you're just gonna be flipping them back and forth, keeping yourself flat, flicking your legs back and forth. Controlled, tight, toes pointed. So the next one, after I've done that, I'll come up to a Russian twist. Now, if you are not familiar with it, it's usually done with your legs up. Sometimes people just do it a little bit up. Some will do it all the way up. The important part is that you're keeping your back as straight as you can as you do it. Some people will do it with a weight, but you're literally just keeping your legs up. If you have to touch, that's fine. And you're gonna be twisting while you keep your back as straight as you can, side to side. And this is really working your core and your balance. You'll feel it in your thighs a little bit too if you've got your legs up high enough. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I inspired you to get a little bit more exercise, even in your living room, even if it's only with a can of beans, if that's all you have, but to get yourself moving, especially now that we're all home so much. So this is what I do. Enjoy, have fun. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get the notifications.